All right, we are going to just do a few things for Chapter 12, Technology. The first one is just a review of how to do your one variable statistics, because a few types of the problems you have to either calculate the mean or the standard deviation of the list of data. The mean is easy enough to do. You can just add them up and divide by how many values you have there to do. But the standard deviation formula was a lot more complicated, so it's probably easier just to do those on your calculator. So just to remind you, in order to calculate those things, what you are going to do is enter your data into list 1. So again, I'm going to go ahead and hit Stat. I'm going to hit number 1 to edit that list. If I have anything in there, I'll go cursor up and clear it out and enter, and then I'll put my numbers in. So 9, 10, 14, 7, 8, and 3. Once I have my data in my list, I better enter on my 3, 9, 10, 14, 7, 8, and 3. Then I can go ahead and go hit the Stat button again. This time I'm going to cursor over so that Calculate is highlighted if I would not hit the wrong key. Cursor over so Calculate is highlighted, and I'm going to pick number 1 to do the one variable statistics. For list 1, I'm going to leave it at list 1. That's where I put my data. Frequency list, leave blank, and then I'm just going to enter on Calculate, and then it's going to give me my one variable statistics. So you can see the X bar, the mean, is 8.5. And then on these ones, you're going to want the sample standard deviation. So S of X is the one you're going to do. So you'll usually carry those out to 3 decimal places. So the sample standard deviation is 3.619. So just reviewing that, because you will need to find those two values on some of the problems here. So if you want to use your graphing calculator, you could do that. I am going to go ahead and scroll down here. All right, we are going to do a one-way analysis of variances, which is called an ANOVA test. And on ALEKS, when you do them, they give you the summary data that you have to use if you're doing the actual calculations. They don't give you the data from the problem. So we're just going to do one example. If you would start with the data, how you could do the test on your calculator. So it says a researcher wishes to see if there is a difference in the fuel economy for a city driving for 3 different types of automobiles: small automobiles, sedans, and luxury automobiles. He randomly samples 4 small automobiles, 5 sedans, and 3 luxury automobiles. The miles per gallon for each is shown. At a 0.05 level of significance, test the claim that there is no difference among the means, and the data are shown below. And so what we're going to do is enter our data into list 1, list 2, and list 3. I've already gone ahead and done that, but if I go ahead and look, I'm going to hit the Stat button. I'm going to hit 1 for edit, and then you can go ahead and type your data into list 1, list 2, and list 3, just like I have there, if you need to pause the video for a minute. But once you have your data in your list, you're going to hit the Stat button again, and then you're going to cursor over to Tests. This time we are doing the ANOVA test, which is H. So you could scroll down to H. If I scroll down, whoop, and if I get all the way down to H, it is the ANOVA test. The other way to hop down there quick is you can hit the alpha button, and then above your caret key, you'll see that there's the H. So if you hit alpha and the caret key to do alpha H, it just hops and gives you ANOVA. In the parentheses, what you want to do is put the list that your data is in. So I have list 1, list 2, and list 3. So I am going to hit the second function and number 1 to put list 1 in there. I have to separate them with a comma. Second function, number 2, will put list 2 in there, put my comma. Second function, list 3, will put my 3 in there. And then I have to close my parentheses. So again, just to remind you, your comma is above the 7, your parenthesis is above the 9. And so what you should see on your screen is that you're doing the ANOVA test on list 1, list 2, and list 3. And then when I enter, it is going to give me my values. So my F value, my test value, would be 4.834. My P value, 0.038, if I round that to 3 decimal places, 0.038. You can also see the degree of freedom and the other statistics that you might want to have when you're doing your calculations in the table. And those are the values that they're going to have in their summary table already for you. And so they're just giving you that summary information. But if you had to do the problem with the data, then you could easily bring up the test value and the p-value. Now, if I am trying to decide if I should accept the null or the alternative hypothesis, the null, there is no difference, which is what the claim is. I'm going to use my p-value because I think the p-value is a little easier. My p-value is 0.0378, 037. My alpha value is 0.05. So 0.03 is less than 0.05, which means I would accept the alternative hypothesis. If my p-value is less, I do the alternative. If it's greater, then I do the null. So in this case, can I accept the claim there is no difference? No, I can't accept that claim because I have to accept the alternative hypothesis, which says there is a difference. And so those are the only 2 activities we're going to do. Again, on ALEKS, you won't be able to do much on your graphing calculator other than calculate the mean and the standard deviation instead of using the formula. But I just wanted to do one example, just so if you did have the data and you wanted to do it on your graphing calculator, you would see that there is a test to do the ANOVA test on there. It's just on ALEKS, they don't give us the original data, they give us the summary values.